So you're probably thinking right now, which team right now in the NBA really is the best team? Like the competition's just so it's even. But who truly are the best teams in the league? Well, you're gonna figure it out. Number 6, the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors definitely made some very interesting moves over free agency. They did a sign and trade with the Brooklyn Nets for D'Angelo Russell, and he's still a very young and upcoming player in the NBA. They also signed Willie Cauley-Stein from the Sacramento Kings. He's going to be a pretty good fit for them as well. And they added some more younger pieces on the team. I really didn't like, though, that they let Quinn Cook go. I thought he fit really well in their system, but, he's going to LA now. And to me, losing Andre Iguodala is like losing a piece of your identity on that team because he helped create that foundation of what they have in Golden State now with Clay and Steph and Draymond. But the reason why I have them at number 6 is because they're still the Warriors. They still have Steph Curry, and they're going to have Draymond, and then Clay's going to come back in a few months. And I still think that this team's going to be good enough to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference. They're definitely not going to be the first, second, or third seed in the West, but they're definitely going to be in the top 5. Many people think that the Warriors are going to fall in the standings to possibly 7th or 8th in the conference, but I disagree. I think Steph's going to go back to averaging 30 points a game the season when he won MVP. And once Clay comes back, this team is definitely going to take huge strides up. Number 5, the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this team definitely changed the direction of what they plan on doing in the future since acquiring Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But as we all know, that Kevin Durant is not going to be playing next season, so that's why I have the Nets at number 5. The Brooklyn Nets overall have a really deep roster. You have Spencer Dinwiddie, you have Caris LeVert, Jared Allen. They just acquired Taurean Prince, and he's definitely improved throughout his NBA career. They also have Joe Harris, and also they signed DeAndre Jordan as well. So this team definitely has a really deep roster. And I think Kyrie Irving is going to be super motivating coming into this season. Not only is he going to have a new opportunity by playing with the Nets, but he's going to be playing not too far from his hometown. And really, this is his first time actually being a free agent. He chose to play for Brooklyn. Now he got to prove that he can lead this team to something really special. And especially once Kevin Durant returns, this team is definitely going to be something. But not for this season. Number 4, the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks pretty much brought back everybody who they had on their team last year, pretty much except for Malcolm Brogdon. But they did bring in new addition Wesley Matthews, who I think is going to be a really great role player for their team. He's a great knockdown shooter. He's proven that throughout his entire NBA career. But this team has the MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's actually now starting to take really big strides in this game. And I expect him to come back next season an even better player than he did this year. His team was top 3 in offense and defense last year, and that was really from Giannis' impact on this team. Many people say that Giannis really needs a 3-point shot to really take that next level in his game. Yes, the 3-point shot is going to help him a lot, but he really does now have a respectable 3-point shot. If you leave him open now, then he's going to make the shot. The Bucks knew what they were doing by surrounding him with shooters, and they still have pretty good defenders on their team as well, including himself. They are pretty much the same team for last year, but they're not better than this next team that I'm about to say. And that's the Philadelphia 76ers. This team, yes, they lost Jimmy Butler, but they got Josh Richardson, and he's a young 3-and-D type player. They also signed Al Horford, who's really a face-up type center, and he can really actually play the 4 really well too. And they also kept Tobias Harris, so this team is pretty much the same, but they did lose JJ Redick, which is really painful in my opinion, because he had really a great time in Philadelphia. This man was averaging career highs on the 76ers. The only problem with top-heavy teams like the Philadelphia 76ers is that they don't really have a bench. They did re-sign Mike Scott, who was a pretty good contributor for their team last season, but really, they don't have any key pieces. TJ McConnell, he left the team. Still have Jonathan Simmons, but he's not really doing anything significant. What I think why the Philadelphia 76ers is better than the Milwaukee Bucks is because I think Joel Embiid is going to come back extremely motivated. This man was one game away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think Ben Simmons, he knows what he's going to have to work on this summer, and we all know what that is too. And the thing is, the Philadelphia 76ers, they wanted to match up against the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs. But they had to go through that boy Kawhi Leonard. If this team really matures this season, this team's definitely going to take some huge strides up, and I think they will. Number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. So LeBron, he got his superstar player in Anthony Davis right next to him, and now this team has a really solid supporting cast around them. You have Danny Green, who they got for a really high contract. They got DeMarcus Cousins. You re-signed JaVale McGee and Rajon Rondo and Alex Caruso, who played pretty good at the end of the season. You have Kyle Kuzma. You have Jared Dudley. You have many other players. Also, not to mention, they got Avery Bradley, who's a really good pickup for them, and he's at one point was one of the best defenders in the NBA. This is a really good group of basketball players that what the Lakers got. So they didn't really do bad at all getting players after the Kawhi Leonard situation. Really, one of the best parts about this team is that a lot of these guys already have championship experience. Danny Green just won another NBA championship. DeMarcus Cousins just went to his first NBA Finals. You have LeBron James, Quinn Cook, and many other NBA players on this roster that have been pretty far in the playoffs. I personally think that the Lakers will make the Western Conference Finals, but it will be a battle with the next team that I'm about to mention, and that is number 1, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers, they pretty much had one of the greatest off seasons in NBA history. This team went from just an average playoff team to title contenders and the Las Vegas favorites to win the championship next season. And give all the props to Jerry West, because this man is a recruiting genius, and he's proven that throughout his entire career as an executive. Clippers, they had a very appealing situation. You had a very established championship coach in Doc Rivers on the team. You had Jerry West, the greatest executive pretty much in NBA history, and you have Steve Ballmer, the richest owner in sports. And you go out and get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, 2 of the best two-way players in the league. One has won 2 Defensive Players of the Year, and one of them were very close to winning again this season. And I feel like Kawhi Leonard is really going to help out Paul George a lot, because Kawhi Leonard knows what it takes to win an NBA championship. He just did it this season, and he did it a few years ago when he was in San Antonio. And that's going to definitely rub off on Paul George. And not to mention, you still have Lou Williams, you have Montrezl Harrell, you have Landry Shamet, and a lot of other pieces on this roster. And what's the crazy part about this, that if the Lakers and the Clippers, they go to the Western Conference Finals against one another this season, that'll be the first time in NBA history that these 2 teams will actually be facing off against each other in the playoffs. And these 2 have been in the same roof for 34 seasons. That is literally insane. But also, one thing to mention about the Clippers, and we all know this, is that this is going to be one of the greatest defensive teams ever. You have Patrick Beverley, who is one of the most irritating people to play against in the NBA. You have Paul George, who's one of the best perimeter defenders, alongside Kawhi Leonard, who's already won Defensive Player of the Year. And one thing about this team, you have guys that are dogs on this team. This team, they have really tough guys on the team. I think the Clippers are really going to be motivated coming into this season to win the championship. And if that happens, then Kawhi Leonard, his legacy is going to increase extremely high, because you did something that no NBA player has ever done. Win a championship with 2 different franchises that have never won an NBA championship. And you're going to go down in history as the greatest franchise player for both of those teams. So the Clippers, they're going to have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense this season in the NBA. And I'm just looking forward to see what is going to happen this season. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Peace.